Hello, and welcome back to the Big Fish Contracting Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Deringer, along with my lovely co-host, Tanya Welson.
Good morning, Eric.
Hey, Tanya.
Hi.
I'm feeling very chipper this morning, aren't I?
You are.
Yes. How you doing?
Good.
I see you're pounding an energy drink.
Did you also have one?
Well, I've been drinking coffee. Yes. So it's an energy drink.
Yeah, it is.
So it's more of a sophisticated one. Unlike
I know.
those. I don't know what's that.
This is called an Alani.
Is there alcohol in there?
No.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the White Claw.
Oh, delish.
No, I know. I don't know what happened to me.
Do you know what Alani stands for? Do you know what it means?
What does it mean?
It's French for energy.
Well, that makes sense.
I just made that up. But really, it proves that if you say something convincingly enough,
someone will believe it.
People will buy into it. I have no idea what it means.
But neither do I. But they are delicious.
But
I don't know.
You are popping today.
It could be the energy drink.
Yeah. So how have you been?
Great.
Okay. Anything new in your world? Dance? Have you been dancing?
Yeah, we've been dancing. We just got back from Mexico. That was a wonderful trip.
Yes. How was that? Tell me about it.
It was really, really nice. My husband and I got the opportunity to travel with Chad Whelan, and his wife, Chad, is one of our main sales reps here.
Check out our podcast.
Check out the podcast with Chad.
Chad a little bit more. Yeah.
So we had the opportunity to earn that trip, and it was beautiful. It was actually cooler in Mexico, which is, hard to say because in Wisconsin, if it's 70 somewhere, you think that's warm. But it happened to be really, really cold here, like in the negatives, or they were canceling school. And then down there was about 72. So it was beautiful and right on the ocean.
70s, that's my type of temperature.
I'm like an 85.
Well, we just got back from Florida last week on a golf trip. It was 85, 87, almost every day.
Like, why don't I live in a place
it was a little hot.
Where it's like
It's an oppressive heat. When I got back here, and it was cold when I got back, and just the air was much crisper, it was much easier to breathe. That's Orlando smog is
too thick. The air is
a little too thick, yeah.
But like salty ocean air is different.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a caramel, like a salty caramel chocolate.
No, I didn't think of that.
No. Well, I was, because I was eating these salted caramel chocolate delicious delicacies last night. I ate one. It was so good.
Just one?
Yeah.
That's good control.
Just one.
Oh.
Yeah. It was like this. No, I'm just kidding. It's just small.
Actually, the entire carton considered as one.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. One carton.
One carton. Exactly. Yeah.
So you've been enjoying winter?
I have. I actually have, because I set a goal for myself. You don't like New Year's resolutions. I wouldn't consider this a resolution per se.
Let me go on record. I don't like them for myself.
Okay,
I'm
that's
all
fair.
about
that's good
doing
clarification.
New Year's resolutions.
You just personally don't need them.
I wouldn't even say that. I just don't do them, so therefore I can kind of justify it by just not liking them.
Okay.
But I am also doing some new stuff and personal goals, but you are too.
I am too. And I pretty much would go outside, but I also was very, it's too cold. I'm not going to go out there. So I decided randomly on January 1st that I was going to commit to 365 days outside and 3 miles a minimum outside. Okay. It has to be 3 miles. It has to be outside.
Okay.
And
so
I'm on day. Well,
does a
I have to get to days.
Count?
No, it has to be walking or running, jogging. Yeah. So today
biking.
will be maybe biking. We'll see.
You don't bike much.
I don't really love the bike. No, I tried. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So today will be day 50.
What if you just took your treadmill right outside, like on your porch?
That would be innovative. Wonder what the neighbors would think.
I'm sure they just think it's a normal Tanya deal.
Actually, they probably
the energy
would.
Drink in hand. Just walking
out there, answering the phone.
That would be kind of funny.
It would be hilarious. I should do that one day. Just
getting my 3 miles in, Nancy.
Just no big deal. Nothing to see here. Wow. But it's like I crave it now. Mm-hmm. Like that fresh air. And so if you're moving and you're moving and you're dressed appropriately, it actually can be kind of sweaty to,
Well, yeah.
in the sun.
Yeah, you're
and
working out.
you got like 14 layers on, which I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's good. I feel really good.
Do you think 3 miles on a horse would count outside?
No.
Okay.
Because you would have to physically be doing, I physically have to be doing something. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, I know you're going to accomplish it.
Well,
I mean, if you're really sick, that could be a challenge.
Yeah, I'm going to have to drag myself out of there. Mm-hmm. Someone will have to pull me out the door.
Yeah. And then just drag you around.
No, I'll have to go on my own power.
Okay.
But,
all right.
yeah, so that's
I love
something
that
kind
for
of new,
you.
I guess. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, what would you like to talk about today?
Ooh, so recently we gave our free roof winner away. So we got to announce that. So in 2024, we did a drawing for a free roof, and we were able to select that winner. And then Erin Shrewby, she was our winner, and I actually got to make the phone call, so that was really special. We had emailed her, and then I also wanted to reach out via phone, and she answered right away. And she hadn't read the email, so it was a really big surprise, and super grateful, and a wonderful family. And you met her in person then a few days later.
I did. It was excellent. Her mom was there.
Oh, cute.
I think her mom was lovely, but I think she was kind of just, is this real? We kind of had that vibe, right? Like
skeptical.
Looking out for her daughter. Her husband is a canine police officer, and so he was down south training his dog, and so he wasn't there, but she was, and her mom was there. But yeah, we just met her, and we're able to bless her with a new roof. She was obviously very excited, and really sweet, and was really happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, I feel it's really great that we can do that for that homeowner.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
so we're thinking
super
about
special.
some other giveaways in the future.
Yeah.
But that one I would think was a success.
Absolutely. And we'll be doing her project when the weather warms. So
We will, and maybe we'll have her on
oh, that'd be great.
as a guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will invite Erin on.
She's sweet, so I think it'll be
Love
a
that idea.
good opportunity. So today we have got some questions.
Yeah, some Q&A. So we get some questions online. If you ever have a question, Instagram is a great way to reach out, and you can ask us anything. I think from the tone of our podcast and the vibe, I would think that you're acknowledging that we're pretty open and really do talk about anything. So I really feel like there's not a question I would not answer.
Right. I mean, I'll give it a shot. I might make it up, like
Like
French
Alani
meaning
for
of Alani.
energy.
Yeah,
They are delicious.
I won't make it up.
Don't start. Okay, people out there, this is a PSA. Just start.
Don't start on the energy drinks.
Start on the energy drinks.
I will have a 5-hour energy if I've had a day and I know I'm going out that night, and just pop one back. It gives me that extra juice. But I've never tried one of those. Maybe I've had a Red Bull. I think we went out.
See, I
with
haven't
a Red
had
Bull
Red
and-
Bull or Monster. Those
Bull
are
and
way
vodka.
too much.
I think back in the day, I would have a Red Bull and vodka when we were going out.
Oh, like-
It's been years since I've had one, but it worked.
It
worked, exactly. We had a great time.
Okay, so back to these questions.
Yeah, what are some of the questions?
So I think one of the questions that we've gotten numerous times is what your favorite project we've done recently. What is your favorite project?
Well, it would be my house, my personal house remodel that we've worked on for 2 years, really.
Yeah. It was done by all the staff at Big Fish Contracting, and it's I think it encapsulates like everything that Big Fish is capable of. I mean, that project is phenomenal, and it just happens to be your house, but it really is a true representation of a 180 transformation. I thought Eric's house was beautiful before the transformation.
It was. We loved it, but we were able to just make it the way we wanted it.
Did the layout a little
like
different?
remember how on American Idol when people would redo songs and they would make it their own? Mm-hmm. That was kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's like a song was a really cool.
A really great
It
song.
was like, and then we just kind of shifted it around, changed it a little bit, and made it just our own, put our own style, our own.
And why don't you describe some of the biggest changes that were made on the property?
Sure. So it's a farmhouse. So we were, we have a farm, and so we were able to put a big front porch, big wraparound front porch, big timbers and exposed open concept, and so that's one of the major changes. We added a lot of windows, so we have land all around us, so you're really able to see through the house.
Yeah, you kind of get a 360
kind of like the
view.
outdoors and the indoor. It's just all tangible. The kitchen was the biggest part on the inside, where we just opened up the kitchen, put a large island in there for us to entertain. We have a big family. We have lots of friends. Lindsay, my wife, loves to entertain and just cook, and so this kitchen is magnificent. The dining room is magnificent. We opened it up, so we really wanted to just create a warm, cozy, quaint feel, inviting, and then room, for people. So yeah, those were some of the big items that we did. There was most of the house we touched to do something to, but those were some of the big ones. Yeah, and it's glorious in my opinion. It was a really fun project, and I love art, and I love music, and I love creating, and so just to be a part of that process.
Yeah.
And I love that about not only my house, just all the homes that we do. That is one of my most favorite parts about what we do, is to bring beauty and creativeness to people's homes. It's like a palette.
Yeah, like blank canvas in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's a way to express and then also make it functional and stuff too. So yeah, that was definitely my favorite project of the year. Although we've done a lot of cool ones that weren't on my property. I think was a Griffin job a year ago. Yeah, that was a big remodel on the exterior in Brookfield. That was beautiful. We'll probably have some links. We have a lot of content coming out with our house. So just stay tuned to all of our
before and afters.
all our socials and stuff. You'll be able to see it. So
yeah.
Did you have a favorite project?
I mean, I would agree with your house. That by far was because it was just the most transformative. I think it was really.
I think the barn we did in Shaniqua was pretty cool.
We've done a couple board and batten houses that turned out really, really beautiful. That's been a popular siding choice, and I think we did a few of them this year, and they really just changed the whole entire look of a home. So that's kind of been my favorite siding transformation, is when people are going with that board and batten. Yeah.
And then another question we received is what kind of ties in is, what's your favorite project of all time and why? And of course, I just kind of went into it. So my home, I won't be redundant, would certainly be my favorite project of all time. And why? Because it's my home. It's such a great story. We're trying to tell the story. I'm so proud of it. It's our first home that we've ever owned. Lindsay and I just, it's just such a long story of how we got to that place, and then to sort of be able to transform it. But other projects that were right up there is the Timling remodel that was in New Berlin, where we transformed, or we added this large area to a very complicated, complex house.
That was a really significant remodel as well, and you basically doubled the footprint of the original property.
Yeah, we put an elevator in there.
That was really
challenging
really,
stuff. That
of all time, that job was.
I think the Rustic Manor of 1948. It's the wedding venue on Highway 83 in
that
Heartland.
place is gorgeous. Yeah, you guys did a great job.
Yes, we were able to build a full, basically bed and breakfast attached to this old farmhouse, and then we ended up redoing the interior of the existing farmhouse, and it's just a cool property.
Yeah,
this is, my daughter
Amber
got married there.
Historic. You held on to some of the historic value of it too, so it's you can still get that similar feeling.
But those are ones that come to the Graham's house. We rebuilt this, tore down a house on Eagle Springs Lake, and tore it all the way down to the ground, and then added like 800 square feet of basement, and then rebuilt a 2-story house, big walkout deck. We did overlooking Eagle Springs. That was a real challenging project, fun.
I was to say too, and I think from like my side, because obviously I'm not building and I'm not on job sites, but from an organizational side and what I do over here on my end, I think the condos out in Jackson, that was very unique, and the opportunity to actually serve them twice, 2 years, and a lot of homeowner interactions and a lot of details needed and things like that. And
we were there every day for over a year.
Yeah, so that was, a really standout project, and it turned out beautiful. All new siding and roofs on those condos, and really happy homeowners. So I think personally that one it sticks out in my mind a lot.
Yeah. And the people, right, who we were dealing with on all these projects, without a doubt, one of the reasons why these particular projects stand out in my mind is because I love the people so much. I love the homeowners, and it was just said, they trusted us and gave us some creative license, and we worked together, and just a great relationship.
Well, and that brings us up to our next question, which is, what is your dream project or customer? And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said trust. So that is the best feeling when a person hires us and they trust you and we trust them, right? And it becomes this really easy thing to navigate and really wonderful experience on both sides. So I think trust is a key factor in what would be any customer, really.
Yeah. It makes or breaks the whole project for sure. And so certainly that customer that is like us, where this is a relationship. You're just, if something goes wrong, laid back, easy to have conversations with, solutions.
And honesty,
yeah.
Right? Like if they're experiencing something negative, then we also take that and learn from it versus try to rebuttal or back ourselves into a corner. I think we're very honest and we do make mistakes, and I think it's great when the homeowner sees our authentic side and appreciates our honesty if we do drop the ball in some way.
Yes, and homeowners who get to know our people too, like our siding crews, or even the roofing crews, the carpenters.
Oh yes, I love it when they're like,
relationships.
I brought them donuts this morning,
or they talk about Diego's wife, one of our siders. So and he just had a new baby. That stuff in the middle of building something. Those are the things to me that really stand out and that you remember about these customers.
Absolutely.
As far as the project is concerned, to me, to have a massive transformation with a large budget.
Oh, that's your dream project?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, because that gives you license and freedom to be creative, because it does these types of things that are really cool. they kind of cost money at times too,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
and to be,
You can do a lot on a budget.
you can,
but you get limited.
just the
to
larger
some,
the budget, the more,
yeah.
the more creative license we can get, and the more kind of cool things that we can do. And so when asked, dream project is like, just a huge transformation, maybe of an old farmhouse on a big property with a huge budget. Sign me up. I think we could do something with that.
Or a beautiful lake house with many
beautiful
decks.
lake house,
Or building a house from the ground up with like no budget, like just brand new, just
no budget.
Bills.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be great. Yeah. Anybody out there?
Yeah. Yes, we're 262
1114. Give us a call.
Like, you do not have your own thoughts sometimes.
Your
it's
own
just
thoughts.
like literally. It just. Anyways, so what buying advice? The question is what is the number one thing to be aware of when house hunting?
Well, we're not realtors, but
we did have a realtor.
We did have a fantastic realtor on,
Heather
Henry, one of the best in the business.
Yeah.
She has had
a ball of life.
Yes, a wild, wild west out there with Heather.
Yep. So you can go back and listen to that. But the number one thing to be aware of when house hunting. So somebody told me one time that it a little bit depends on what your goals are. So if ROI, or being able to have return on your investment is going to be a high priority, then what you pay for the house is really where most of your money is going to be made, not in anything you do after that. And so really the price of the house to me is going to trump a lot of other things. So when you're house hunting, try to do your market analysis and find something on the lower end. Exactly. But if you're not so concerned about that, and this is more of a home that you're going to see yourself in for a long time, then what it's worth in 20 years, it doesn't matter.
Might not be as big.
It doesn't matter as much, because it's going to be worth more, just
regardless.
Watching the real estate market grow, and it's not really something that you're really worried about making all this money on. And so from when house hunting, I honestly would think things that have nothing to do with the house,
right? And more the area,
school district, neighbors,
HOA
the communities,
not,
it's that you're going to be living in. Because the house is going to be, anything in the house can be fixed, changed, redone.
Yeah, I feel like price, location.
Exactly.
Those are definitely big.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But really, Heather Henry would be the one.
Definitely
if you wanted
tune
to just
back
tune back into Heather.
Or give her a shout.
Oh, give her a shout,
We'll post her phone number.
Yeah, love Heather. And there's a lot of other realtors that are wonderful.
Absolutely.
Heather's our gal. If I could do only one thing to my home exterior, what would you tell me to do?
So this question is tricky. I've read this morning, and I thought, okay, there's multiple ways to answer this, because if it's just, you want to switch something up, that's a lot different than if something is failing and needs replacement. Like if your whole house is like, it just needs replacement, that looks a lot different than, I just want to switch something up.
Yeah.
So let's answer it both ways.
Well, so what is most important? So if I could only do one thing, obviously the roof, you need a good roof. Because if you don't have a good roof, then you can open yourself up to all sorts of more problems and damage and stuff like that. So certainly, to me, the roof is going to be the most important out of necessities. Then you get into siding and windows. I will say this: if you just the best bang for your buck to improve the exterior of the house for how much you would spend is a garage door.
Yeah, that can really transform the look of a house.
Really.
Absolutely.
And it's
kind of
$5,000 or
yeah.
$6,000, you know, and you don't get much for $6,000 when it comes to windows or doors or siding, right? But for a garage door, brand new garage door, and so that's something very affordable. You can start to transform the exterior of your house. But, you know, windows, there's a lot of value in windows if you need windows because of the comfort they bring to the inside of the house, the efficiency they bring, the heat bill. They can change your look.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to...
That's tricky.
It is.
I think versus need versus want.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah, and then it goes to, well, what's your plans on the house? Are you selling the house? If you're looking to sell the house in 5 years or so, you're really not going to get your investment back necessarily from siding. Roof, you probably have to do anyways, but siding is easier. Most people do new siding just because they need just a facelift. Certainly, you find siding that is rotten and just needs to be replaced, but generally, it's more an aesthetic thing. And if you don't get a lot of ROI on siding,
Sure.
you know, if you're short term. So, I guess I would land on a roof.
So circling back.
Or garage
A
door.
roof or garage door. Great. Okay. Why is my house so cold, and is there anything I can do about it right now? Put a blanket
Turn your
on.
heat up.
I don't
Put
think
a
that's
blanket on. Yeah.
the,
We're selling blankets, Big Fish blankets.
It's really helpful
Check
if
them
you're
out.
cold in your house. No, in all seriousness, if your house is so cold, it could be drafts from the windows.
Yeah. It's probably windows.
Most likely it's windows, yeah. I have a window that I can definitely feel the air coming in from. Yeah.
Where is it?
Right next to
Should we
you.
replace it?
Maybe down the road.
Okay.
We'll get Paul over.
Yeah, we will. Speaking of Paul, we have an excellent podcast with Paul
Look at all of
Unferth,
these helpful
our
podcasts.
window expert.
Yes. And he would be able to come over and assess if any of your windows are, getting airflow. But that would be a number one cause of, well, not number one cause, but that could be why your house is cold.
Definitely. And that's where I would start with. Insulation certainly is part of it, but what we find...
And check the, your thermostat. So I think some people, I'm guilty of this because my husband Ryan is a plumber, and so he's always looking at our mechanicals. But that is something homeowners should do regularly: is go down and look at their furnace, make sure the pilot light is lit. Because things can happen where you don't, until it's already freezing cold in your house, you realize, oh, my furnace went off, right? So just going down, making sure your air filters are changed regularly. Checking out your water heater and things like that. It is really important to inspect those, at least go down there once a month and just check everything out, that it's functioning, there's not water leaking out of your water heater, those kinds of things.
Yes. You can call one of our guys, Carl Sprung at Sprung Heating and Cooling.
Doug at Great Lakes Heating.
Doug at Great Lakes. Those are great guys to come over, check out your furnace and just make sure everything is running. But I think from what we do, I think the windows really are a source of heat loss.
Absolutely.
But it's an investment for new windows, and so you could just turn the heat up too.
Yeah.
You really could. You just feel a little warmer.
Yeah. Fair.
Can switch over. Fireplaces, actually, a lot of times I notice. So old natural fireplaces, they have their damper closed or open, and it creates draft, and it just pulls all the hot air out of your house right up the flue. And so I've seen that a lot too. So gas inserts, they're far more efficient. Those are things that you can look at in your house. So what else do we have on the docket?
I have ice damming on my roof. What should I do?
Makes sense. That probably came in recently.
I think we may have had a client call about this.
Yeah, we've had a number of clients. Ice damming is, do we have a podcast on ice damming?
We do.
And blogs.
Yeah, and
check out what you can get at on our website.
Yep, the blog is on the website. The link to our ice damming.
Ice damming is a
can call WHI.
WHI, Wisconsin Home Improvements. Yeah, we work with them. We also have them on the podcast.
Yeah.
Ice damming is very complicated, and it requires a lot of investigation. But typically, ice damming has to do with heat loss in the home and Wisconsin winters. The home loses heat. The snow above the conditioned area melts, hits the cold air over the soffit. Gutters are aluminum, so they're metal, so they're cold, they're dark. Water starts freezing right away in the gutter, backs up, and then you have icicles and all that stuff. So
typically, like when we have these big cold snaps, and then all of a sudden it's really sunny and gets a little more mild, and then goes right back to a cold snap. It's these big
swings.
Fluctuations. Yep. Because there are winters where maybe a person with ice damming has no issues because it's been just kind of a steady, consistent temperature. But then all of a sudden, it's when these big swings happen, more of those dammings are going to occur.
So during the middle, my daughter Amber just called because she has big ice dams, and so during an ice dam there's really not a lot you can do about it. You really have to just let nature take its course and let it melt. We do have a big a steam cleaner or steamer where we can go and remove ice if it's a huge problem. But generally, if you're not having any issues on the inside of the house, if you don't see water coming in, just let the ice be. And it's more of than just a safety thing. Like if you have ice coming down or icicles, over your front entryway, or you're gonna kill the UPS guy. Right. You might want to knock that down, or put some salt or calcium down below where it's melting. Yeah. But once the spring comes and the thaw comes, then it's a time to really look and see, why am I having these problems? Heat. There's edge melt systems. Which will remove ice just from heated coils. Insulation can help reduce ice damming. Gutters being cleaned, making sure your downspouts aren't clogged so water has a way to flow through.
Yeah, it's really important to do a gutter cleaning before winter hits, fall. In fall, you have to do it multiple times typically in the fall. So definitely when those trees are bare, get up on that roof and clean your gutters.
Yeah, or have somebody come in
if you're not comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But those are things that you're going to want to address before winter hits. But it is Wisconsin, and most homes somewhere on the house can and will have ice damming. It's just part of Wisconsin winter. So if the water's staying on the outside, and our roofing systems are designed to keep the water on the outside, you're in a good spot. Because ice isn't going to ruin the roof.
No, I mean, it's like when you all of a sudden you're running and you hit an ice patch, and you're like, oh, where did that come from? I didn't see it. It happens. Just not all the ice is going to melt at once.
Sorry.
You're good.
Okay, so those were all good questions. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah.
Any question is welcome.
Absolutely.
You can ask Tanya about yoga.
They could ask Eric about yoga.
About horseback riding. The only thing I know about yoga is it is incredibly difficult.
It's incredibly amazing.
It is pretty cool. So
yeah.
We're so glad that anybody would take the time to listen. We're really hopeful that you find value in some of the information, and we're able to use this platform to let you get to know us a little bit, build trust, and just show that, hey, we're available. We're people.
We are people.
Yeah, and in this community. So we're really excited for anybody to have taken any time to listen to us.
Yeah, we really appreciate you tuning in.
Banter. So thank you so much. You can find us on all of our social media platforms. You can call the office. You'll talk to Tanya herself.
Yes.
Which is always nice.
Sure.
Have a great day.